Okay, so tonight, Bezat Hashem, we continue what we have learned about Passover, the part 1. We'll learn about the month of Nisan, the month that Am Yisrael become a nation. And this month we came out of Egypt after 210 years. And the day that we're celebrating that miracle that happened when we came out from Egypt, it was the 13th of Nisan. And this is the day that we started the holiday of Passover. Okay? Passover called Passover because the last plagues that Hashem gave to the Egyptian people, out of 10 plagues, the last one was that Hashem killed all the Bechorim, all the firstborn. And Hashem told them to put in the front on the doors, to put all the blood from the sacrifices, that the angel will know which houses he needs to skip and not to kill the firstborn of the Israeli people. Okay? So Passover, Hashem pass over the houses of Am Yisrael. That's why the name of Passover, because of this miracle that happened in the 10th plague that Hashem did to Am Yisrael at that time, and it was the 13th of Nisan. Okay? And we learn about how we need to prepare ourselves for Passover, how to clean out the house and check the chametz, how to do the selling of the chametz, how to do the burning of the chametz, how to check our house the 13th night before the 14th, right? And then to burn it in the morning. We'll learn what is the blessing, how we cancel it by our heart, verbally. We cancel it that we make the chametz like a sand, like nothing, okay? We don't want any more the chametz in our house. And also we getting rid of it out of our house. And also in case we selling the rest of the chametz or the chametz that's swallowed inside our dishes to the goy, to someone is not Jewish, and the rabbi do the kinyanim to give him the permission and like renting our places to the goy that is not belongs to us. Why we doing all of it? Because the Torah was so extreme about chametz, and chametz is the karet, one of the worst and the very severe punishment in the Torah. That's why we taking it very extremely way. Okay? And we learn also the chametz is not like the regular isurim, the regular stuff that mixed together, that if it was one of 60, it was cancelled, like milk and meat together. Even a little bit of the chametz touch the food, what happened? It's not cancelled. And we have to throw it away. Even 1 of 1,000. That's why it's so extremely. So that's why we getting rid of the chametz. And also we learn that even by mistake, I had chametz in my house and I didn't touch it and I didn't sell it. Why we need to sell the chametz and why we need to get rid of it? Because if I keep it any place in that belongs to me, I cannot enjoy it after Pesach. Okay? This is like a fee, like Chazal punished this person who keep it, that he's not be able to enjoy it, even to sell it to someone, even he's not getting enjoyed by himself. Okay, that's what we selling. We getting our house ready, and we getting rid of all the chametz. Okay, and that's why we'll learn also about what we doing the night before Pesach. We need to take haircut because we're not allowed to get haircut all during the Chol HaMoed and also during the Lag BaOmer until the 18th of Chodesh Iyar, the next month. Also, we'll learn that we need to fast all those people who were the firstborn. They need to fast on the same day. If they didn't do it, they cannot fast. What they need to do? To participate in Siyum HaSechet. Celebrate in the morning that if somebody finish one of the book of the Gemara, so all those people who participate, they don't have to fast anymore. So today, Be'ezrat Hashem will continue the halachot of Pesach. There are many halachot, but we starting to learn how to kosher our stuff, how we can use the same dishes that we use during the year, how we can use it during the Pesach. Which one we're allowed to use, which one we're not allowed to use. How to kosher our oven, fridge, toaster oven, microwave, all those stuff we're going to learn today. Okay? And also, before we starting, I would like to give you a little bit of introduction to get an idea, and then you can have a more clear picture exactly what we're talking about. Okay? There is halacha in Yoreh De'ah. It's halacha that belongs even during the year. Whatever every person who wants to kosher any stuff, anything from your dishes, from milk to meat, or by mistake, if I cooked in a meat pot, I cook something milchik, okay? How can I kosher it? Or if I would like to transfer, I would like to make it opposite. I would like to make it meat. I don't want to use this pan anymore. I would like to make it for chalavi, for something for dairy. How can I do it? Okay? And if I got mixed, or if I cooked, when I'm allowed to use it, when I'm not. So I'm going to give you a little bit of introduction. The halacha said like that. We have the halacha klal. It's a law. If something have any taste, anything that is swallow, let's take an example. I use the pot to make meatballs. Now the pot is besari, is meat. I use it for besari, right? Now, even I take away the meatballs. Now it's empty and I wash it with soap and everything. It still have taste inside, the swallow, that we don't see it, okay? But it's still swallow inside because of the heat. It was burning. Because of the heat, it's swallow inside. So this pot, even it's brand new, it become besari, which means meat, right away. I'm not allowed to use it for chalavi anymore. Okay? This is part one. What if I would like to use it, not for besari and not for chalavi? I would like to make it mashed potatoes. I would like to make pasta. Now, everything that I'm going to use this pot, even is not besari, it's become bechezkat besari. What is bechezkat besari? I'm going to give you example. Besari, if I'm eating something meat, meatballs, hot dogs, chicken, or meat, I cannot eat milk only after 6 hours. Right? 6 hours I need to wait. But if it's not meat, it just cooked in the meat pot or in the meat dishes, anything, it's called bechezkat besari. What's the difference? I don't need to wait 6 hours, but I cannot use it with chalavi. So, if I use this pot for besari, and I would like to make pasta, which is parv, right? And now I would like to take this pasta and put on my plate with cheese or mozzarella or whatever. I'm not allowed to use it. If I'm eating it, I'm not going to wait 6 hours. What I'm supposed to do, I'm just going to eat it with other stuff. But I cannot use it to eat it with chalavi. Okay? It's something in the middle. There is besari, one thing, like black and white. Besari, and then besari equal 6 hours between besari to chalavi. Okay? There is in the middle, bechezkat besari, which means that is cooked with a pot that used for besari in the last 24 hours, is bechezkat besari, which means equal, I cannot have it with chalavi, dairy stuff. Okay? Let's take another example. I used the oven. I cooked very yummy chicken. Okay? I cooked it inside the oven. Now after a couple hours, my wife wants to warm a pita for my kids. The pita is turned to Besari, but not Besari that I need to wait 6 hours. Bechezkat Besari, which means that I'm not allowed to put cream cheese inside the pita. You understand? Let's take opposite. Now we have chalavi. I use the oven to bake pizza. Now the oven is chalavi, right? Oven is chalavi. In the last 24 hours, I used, or anything, I warm up borekas, I warm up bread, I warm up anything, he become bechezkat chalavi, which means that I'm not allowed to take this pita or this bread with something besari. So there is besari, 100%. I need to wait 6 hours. There is bechezkat besari, that I'm not allowed to eat it with something chalavi. There is something chalavi, 100% chalavi, okay, that I'm not allowed to eat it with besari. And also there is something in between, bechezkat chalavi, that I'm not allowed to eat it with besari. But what if I cook it, or I use the oven, or I use this pot after 24 hours? Let's say that I use this pot for besari today at 7 p.m. Okay? Tomorrow at 8 p.m. I use it, I warm up a pita, or even I warm up a pizza. Okay? The pita or the pizza become besari? No. Why?
I'm confused.
I'm gonna repeat it. Why is not become besari? Because of what? It's after 24 hours. Again, the halacha said like this: when the pot, whatever you use the pot for besari or for chalavi, is become besari. Is become, okay, tarer besari, meat. Okay? How long this meat remain, that whatever you're going to cook inside is going to be meat?
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay? Whatever I cooked, either it's pasta, that it's parv, either it's bread, either it's whatever, mashed potatoes, soup, it's become bechezkat besari. What is bechezkat? What is bechezkat besari? Bechezkat besari, if it's not a real meat, it just how you call it? Bechezkat besari, which means that is it cooked with something meat. You cannot use this food with chalavi. Okay? You got it? So, what we're doing today, if I would like to kosher it, first of all, before I kosher any pot, now I know for today we make it totally separation. Because if I'm gonna wait this 24 hours, I don't know how many hours I use this, how long ago I use this oven. That's why we have an oven for besari, oven for chalavi, pots for besari, pot for chalavi, not to mix anything together. But the halacha is if it's after 24 hours and I clean it and I wash it and everything, if I cooked something, b'diavad, I'm allowed to eat it. I'm allowed to drink it with chalavi or something, okay? But what I'm supposed to do, if I have right now a pot that is besari, I would like to kosher it to chalavi. I said to my wife, you know what? We use it for meatballs. I would like to make onion soup with mozzarella. That's how I would like to dedicate this pot for that. What I'm supposed to do? I need to wait, first of all, 24 hours, not touching it, not for besari, not for chalavi. And then what? I need to kosher it in the same way that he swallow it. I need to take out the liquid or the meat or the food that swallow inside. I'll give you an example. The halacha said like this: the same way that the pot or the dishes swallow, the same way he needs to take out. כבולעו, כך פולטו. Okay? כבולעו, כך פולטו. The same way that he swallowed, the same way that you take it out. Okay. So when we said כבולעו, כך פולטו, which means the same way that you swallow, that the pot or the oven or whatever you cooked inside, the same way that he swallowed, he needs to take out. He needs to be kosher out. When I say it, we have a two different way how to do it. We have many ways, but we have a way how to kosher a liquid stuff that swallow or a dry stuff that swallow inside, okay? If it was swallow by liquid, let's say I took this pot and I have a meatballs, it's full of liquid. I have a soup, I have anything that liquid, okay? I want to kosher this pot. What I'm supposed to do? We have a fire that burning, and we have a liquid inside that burning. So the same way that is swallow, I need to kosher it. What I'm supposed to do? First of all, before I kosher anything, even for Pesach and even in general, I'm taking this pot, waiting 24 hours not to use it, and then I'm taking this pot and need to immerse it or put it inside a hot boiling water that under fire. In Israel, we used to do it before Pesach, like a big pot under fire, the fire under, and then everybody come with their pots or with their dishes, and then they just dip it inside, okay, with the special tools that not to get burn, and the water like boiling, and then you kosher it like that 3 times, and then you kosher it. If I don't have this big one, I just have on my stove, I have my pot and I want to kosher it. So we have a solution. We fill it up, the pot, full of water. We boil it until it's like going over. And then when it goes over, he flush himself and he clean himself. So the same way that he swallowed, the same way in the same heat, he also take it out. And that's it. So what I'm supposed to do with the cover, taking the cover, inside this boiling hot water, and I dip it inside. This way, I kosher it for besari to chalavi, for meat to dairy, or for dairy to meat. And also, if I would like to make the same thing, to kosher for Pesach, to take this pot and use it for Passover. Even this pot is chametz. The chametz is swallowed inside. You use it for pastot and whatever that is swallow the chametz. So first of all, you're not using it for 24 hours. And then you fill it up with full of water, boiling until the water goes out by themselves. And then you kosher himself. This is beautiful solution to kosher a pot for Passover. Okay? But this is if it was liquid. What if it was dry? To kosher something dry, so again, we have the same law. Kebol'o kach polto, which means the same way that is swallowed, the same way that we need to take it out. So, if I use it for something that dry, okay, so I can use it the same thing to kosher it. How can I kosher it? Or I dip it inside boiling hot water, or I'm using a live fire, and kosher it like that. It's called libun. Okay? So, if I would like to take a pan, we fried chips or even a hamburger or whatever, barbecue or whatever, anything that you use with dry fire. So you're using a torch with fire on top of it, and then you kosher it. Before you kosher it, again, don't use it 24 hours. And also, you have to clean it with soap very, very good. Why we're using soap and those stuff to clean it before? To make sure to cancel the taste that's inside, that is not going to be eatable for dogs. We have another law in Pesach. In order to use something for Pesach, even it have a mix of chametz. I'm going to give you an example later when we talk about lipsticks, about medicines, about any other stuff that we use for Pesach. Even it's mixed with a little bit of chametz, we still can use it because it's not edible for a dog. This is the measure, how you can measure if it's allowed to use it for Pesach or no. If it's edible for a dog, we're not allowed to use it if you have any kind of chametz. We're going to talk about food for animals, for fish. We're going to talk about all those things, okay? So, for now, let's go step by step. After we got it, we have another law. We have the first law, kebol'o kach polto, the same way that is swallowed, the same way that we need to kosher it. If it's liquid, liquid. If it's dry, with hot water, with hot fire, dry fire to clean this spot. Today, of course, it's much easier to buy a new one for Pesach and that's it, instead of to burn all your house. But I'm talking about if somebody wants to kosher all his house and you have a lot of stuff or you don't have the money to spend or something like that, so this way that we do it. We have another law on top of it. It's called first vessel and second vessel. Now, first vessel, this is whatever you use on top of the fire. First vessel, it's pot, pan, anything that you use on the fire. The same way that you swallow, the same way that you need to kosher it. If you want to kosher it, you have to kosher it on top of the fire. Or the fire needs to be under, okay? With hot boiling water or hot boiling fire to kosher it. But if it's a second vessel, which means that like utensil, fork, knives, cups, plates, it's a second vessel. You pour the meatballs on the plate. It's hot, but it's not hot like it's on the fire, right? So how you kosher the second vessel? The same way. You don't need to have a hot pot boiling water on top of the fire. You take in the heater water. You have to warm it very, very good, and then you take in a basket or even a buckle or whatever. You put all the utensil inside, even the plates or whatever, and then you pour on top of it. Why? Because the same way that you swallow, the same way that you take it out. If it was first vessel on top of fire, you have to kosher it on top of fire. If it's a second vessel, you have to kosher it in the same way. So the same thing, whatever swallow in the second vessel, you don't have to kosher it on top of the fire. You just take hot water. Of course, first of all, you don't use it in the last 24 hours. And also, you kosher it by put a lot of soaps and all the stuff to cancel the taste inside. And then you kosher it by pour hot water on top of it. Okay? This is the introduction how to kosher dishes, or for besari, or for chalavi, meat and dairy, or for Pesach. Now we're going to go one by one all the stuff that we have in our house. Okay? So, let's start with the stove. The stove. We just talk about all the stuff that we have on top of the fire. What about the stove? In Israel or other places, I have the stove, a real fire. Here in America, we have it like electric, right? You can't just burn it. In Israel, that they have this triangle or this stuff, the fire goes from here, and the stove, it's like a metal on top of it, and then the pot on top of it. But sometimes it's flush over. Sometimes it's become touch the chametz, right, from pasta or any other stuff, or macaroni or anything that you cooked chametz. So you split over. So what is supposed to do? First of all, so you're taking it and you're taking everything away from all the flame of the fire around. You clean it very good with spray and soap and everything. You clean it, and then you put it on top, and you burn it. You turn it on for 10 minutes. Why? The same way that you swallow it dry, the same way that you kosher it with a real hot fire, a live fire. That's it, very simple. If you don't have the real fire, you have the stove, like electric one, the same thing. You clean it very, very good. All the corners, you have to go with the knife to scratch all the corners from all the crumbs that all around. And then you turn it on for 10 minutes.
You turn
Turn it on, yeah.
all of them.
All of them,
Four.
yeah. All 4 of them for 10 minutes. Some of the poskim said half an hour, but 10 minutes, if it's getting like very hot in 10 minutes, so it's going to be enough for 10 minutes. Okay? And after you finish, you take in a hot water, you boil it in the heater water, or the electric heater water, and then you pour on top of it. Why? Because sometimes even it's not cooked by the fire himself, it's split around. So it's called second vessel, because it's spilled from the first vessel, from the top himself, on top of it. So it's called second vessel. So you just pour around on top all of it, hot, boiling water. Okay? So, when we want to use this stove, to use it for Pesach, even we burn it, even we turn it for 10 minutes, even we kind of kosher it, still sometimes it's not kosher in 100%. So if you would like to use the real one, the real stove with the fire, we cover it with aluminum, silver aluminum, like we have like the thick one, special for Pesach, and then we can use the other parts and the other food that we cooked on the stove, if it's a real fire, when we cover it with the silver aluminum, okay? But electric, of course, we don't have where to put the aluminum. So, okay? So this is only if you have a real fire, a stove with a real fire, okay? So, when we want to cook something inside the oven, now the oven is fully of chametz. Put borekas, pitot, pizza, a lot of stuff that chametz. First of all, this we have again the same law. Kebol'o, kach polto. The same way that is swallowed, the same that we take it out. So what are we supposed to do? You tell me. What is supposed to do? First of all, don't use it for 24 hours. And then clean it with all the soap and all the, how you call it, smotrich, you think there is a spray, forgot the name. This spray, very strong spray that you spray all over and clean it very, very good. And you can clean all over with the knife and scratch it very, very good. And then do a self-cleaning for 3 hours or 4 hours, self-cleaning, and then you're allowed to use it for Pesach. Or if you would like to kosher it for Besari or to Chalavi, okay? Or you come into someone's house, and you don't know if it's Besari or Chalavi. Let's say you're going to vacation, you're going to other place, you don't know, right? So what is supposed to do? That's what you do, is self-cleaning. But this solution is not going to help you. A lot of people get mistake of that. They think that if they rent a non-Jewish guy house and they don't know if they use it, why they use it, it's not going to help you to kosher it if you do self-cleaning or to clean it or something like that, because it's made for taref. They cooked pork and other stuff on it that, who knows? It's not going to help you. You have to throw it away. You cannot kosher an oven or toaster oven or any other stuff that goy cooked, not kosher stuff inside, not kosher food. You cannot kosher it. So you have to throw it away. You have to be very clear. A lot of people taking Airbnb, they're going to other places, traveling the world, and they get in a kitchen for 2 weeks in Europe or whatever, or in America. They think we're going to kosher it like that. A lot of people tell me that. No, you cannot do it. Okay? Only if it's from Besari to Chalavi, to dairy for meat to dairy, or for Pesach, you can do it because it's a kosher food. But right now, in a period of time, you cannot use it for this chametz, okay? For this type of food of chametz, okay? But if it's taref, which means not kosher at all, you cannot kosher it in this way, okay? The same thing, if you're going in the park, you have the barbecue. A lot of people think, okay, I'm just gonna change the way I'm gonna make a barbecue. I'm gonna cover it. It's not going to help you. You cannot use it. It's taref, mamash, a real taref. Okay? So, just to let you know. So now, if I would like to kosher the oven, I can kosher it in this way. Don't use it in 24 hours. Do self-cleaning. Clean it with the spray and all of it, all the soap. But the trays, I cannot use. Why? Because it swallows so hot with such a heat that high, very, very high, like over 400 or 500 degrees. So you need to do a high libun. Libun, which mean with the torch, with the hot fire, a real fire. So you have to take it out, take a torch, and do like 1 hour, very hard. Because the Gemara said, if you would like to do libun, you have to do it until you see sparks going out. You don't want to break your trays because you want to do it for Pesach. So we don't use the tray for Pesach. What we're supposed to do, okay? What we're supposed to do, we have inside the oven the trays himself, and also we have the web. You know what's the web? It's not the tray that we put the fish inside. It's the web that we put the tray on top of it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like it's with line.
With the rails, the little rails.
Yeah, exactly. This one, also, you put it inside the oven when you do the self-cleaning, and then you cover it with the aluminum, and then you can use it by putting disposable trays to cook fish, meat, or whatever for Pesach. But because, why you can still use it? Because he didn't touch the real food. Only sometimes it spell inside or whatever. So it's better not to use it at all. But if something, you don't have it or you cannot buy it or whatever, so you still can use it by cover it by aluminum, okay? I'm talking about the web, not the tray himself. The tray is not kosher at all for Pesach. Again, don't take it. Rabbi say it's okay. Okay? And then you're taking a disposable. You know what disposable? Aluminum? Yeah, you're making bake, cake for kosher Pesach. And whatever, whatever you want to do for Pesach. And then you can use the oven again. Okay? Some of the people and some of the poskim said it's better not to use it at all. The tanur, the oven, because they said that it's not 100%, there's many problems with that, but if you don't have anything else, so that's what we have, this is the way how to kosher it, and you can rely on those poskim who said that it's okay. Okay? Now, toaster oven. You know what's toaster oven? It's the same like oven, but it's small one. Toaster oven, the same thing. You clean it very good. You don't use it for 24 hours. You spray on top of it, and then you do self-cleaning. You turn it on for hour or two, and then you kosher it by himself, okay? But this is only toaster oven, because toaster, you cannot...
Yeah.
A toaster, it's
Yeah,
like,
it's little,
it's
like-
almost like a sandwich. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
full of bread, full of stuff. You
So
can
we
use
can't
it.
use that one,
Yeah,
obviously,
you
that's
can
full-
use
full of
toaster
bread.
at all for Pesach. Okay? So, what about the microwave? The microwave, if you would like to use it, I recommend to have a microwave for Pesach. But if you cannot do it or you cannot use it, how we kosher it microwave? Also, I'm talking about besari to chalavi, and to chalavi to besari. Meat and dairy, dairy to meat. It's the same way to kosher it. Do not use it for 24 hours. You have to spray and put all the soap and clean it very, very good. Okay? And then, take in a cup with water and put soap inside the water. Okay? And put the cup with the water and with the soap for 10 minutes. It's gonna boil and all the soap will be with steam all over the microwave. So the same way that it's swallowed, the same way that it's gonna go away. Then you can kosher it this way. What about the plate himself? You know the plate, the glass plate? You need to dip it inside hot water. Okay? You need to dip it to do agala inside the hot water in order to kosher it. By the way, if we're talking about the microwave, a lot of people get mistake with that because it's the same laws that we talked before, same laws apply to microwave. A lot of people use it for besari and chalavi and they don't know, or they use it, okay, I'm going to just warm it up. No. We have a microwave just for one, or for chalavi or for besari. You can use it for both. The only way to use a microwave for both, for meat and meat together, it's to make sure and make a sticker, let's say, this microwave for meat only. But now, I would like to use it to warm up, borekas with cheese or pizza. I can use it like that only if I have the special cover. It's a special cover you can buy it. Like cover all over, okay? Cover all over, and then you can, or it's inside the plastic bag, okay? I would like to warm up something chalavi. It's inside the plastic bag, like very close all over with the special cover, and then you can use it to warm up something chalavi, okay? But otherwise, it's besari, totally besari. And then it's the same halachot that we learned before apply to here. If I use it for something besari, to warm up to your husband meat with rice and something, after a couple hours I would like to warm up a pita or bread. It's become bechezkat besari. So you cannot eat chalavi inside. Okay? This is machloket between the Ashkenazim and Sfaradim, but we don't use it for chalavi because it's bechezkat besari. The same thing, bechezkat chalavi. If I use it for pizza, now my microwave is dairy. Okay? After 2 hours, I warm up a bread. Okay? I'm not allowed to eat this bread with something besari, right? Because it's bechezkat chalavi. You understand? But now, I'm going to give you another halacha. What if I am besari right now? I am besari, which means I ate, that's true, I ate like 6 o'clock, I ate meat, right? I have 6 hours that I'm not allowed to eat cheese, any kind of dairy. What about I'm allowed to eat something bechezkat chalavi? Now my wife cooked pasta inside the pot that is chalavi pot. But the pasta himself is parv. I'm not allowed to eat a real chalavi. I'm allowed to eat something bechezkat chalavi? Yes. You understand? It's very important to know. A lot of people think, no, it's bechezkat chalavi. They come into a restaurant or to a bakery. They told you this borekas is not with cheese, but is warm up in a chalavi oven. But you say, oh, I'm besari. What I'm supposed to do? you're allowed to eat it, because the only thing that you're not allowed to eat between meat, it's a real milk, it's a real halavi, a real dairy. But if it's not real, it just cooked with the oven that he's cooking halavi in the last 24 hours, is becheskat halavi, but you don't have to wait and you can use it if it's parv. Okay? It's parv plus cheskat halavi. Okay? So, when I say that, I also mean to say that those people who think, what could have happened if I'm going to a not kosher place, not kosher restaurant, chas v'shalom, what could have happened if I'm just eat fish, just going to cruise, just going to hotel. People tell me, yeah, I'm going to cruise. I told them, what did you eat for 4 days? Said, I just took a fish and I warm it up there, and now that you know those halachot, you know how much is swallow. Those plate, or those ovens, and those microwave, or those grill, they use for treif, for taref, which means that not kosher at all. So which means that whatever warm up in the same plates become also taref. And every bite that you bite, this is love from the Torah. This is avera. This is sin from the Torah. Some of the food is like 5 times of averot. Okay, so many people getting mistakes. They just salad. They didn't check the salad. They used the other pots, the other utensil. So many problems with that. So that's why do not ever use anything. Even you go to other places, we all going and we travel but we don't get it inside the not kosher restaurant, even to taste anything. No cakes, no anything that is not kosher stamp or clothes that you see the kosher stamp on top of it. But nothing that they make for us. Even it seems like look like somebody said to me, yeah, I'm keeping kosher. I'm not eating meat outside. Then I understand that it's not keeping kosher. You don't eat meat. What do you mean? So you eat fish, you eat salads, so you're not keeping kosher. You making your neshama, your soul, unpure. So don't tell me that you keep kosher. Don't think that you're a kosher person. So it's very, very important, and the most important than anything, that is keeping kashrut. Because when you're not keeping kosher, you're making your soul unpure, and then you're getting away from spiritual stuff. Like whether it's Torah, whether it's prayer, whether it's connection with Hashem, whether it's connection in anything with Torah. If you see a person running away or telling you, oh, it's not for me, oh, leave me alone, so I know that he's not keeping kosher. Okay? So, let's go back. So we talk about the oven, toaster oven. Toaster, we're not allowed to use it at all. Can't kosher it. Microwave, the same way. Don't use it 24 hours. Kosher it, put all the soap inside, and put a cup with water, with soap, and turn it on for 10 minutes. Okay? Now, let's go back. What about the dishwasher? Dishwasher, also we use it to dish our stuff. It's a hot water, it's liquid, so the same way that it's swallowed, the same way that we take it out. So guess how we kosher it? The same way. We clean it very good. We don't use it for 24 hours. We close it and do self-cleaning for 2 hours. And it's the same way with soap, right? The dishwasher goes with soap and hot water. It kosher himself. Okay? So very easy to kosher it this way. The same way, what about the plata of Shabbat? You know what's plata? Plata, we warm up the food of Shabbat because we're not allowed to cook or warm up liquid stuff on Shabbat. So the plata, it's electric warm. What? Electric what?
Tray.
Electric tray that it's warm up and it's dry. Sometimes it's also swallow liquid, so we clean it very good. with soap. We don't use it for 24 hours. We clean it and we scratch it. And then we turn it on for 10 minutes. Same way. We clean it like that. And then we cover it with aluminum in case of. Because sometimes the challah, we warm up the challah, we make it crispy. Sometimes we use it with the real chametz on top of it. So that's why make sure we cover it with the aluminum.
But what if I use the aluminum things, like the little thingies?
During
all
the week?
time?
Oh, all the time. So it's
Then
the
you
same
don't
thing,
have
but sometimes it's ripped, sometimes it's full,
Oh.
sometimes. So it's make sure, just to make sure. If you don't have it, you don't have it, but just to make sure, so cover it during the Pesach, okay? So let's go, continue. Blender, you know what's blender? Also, if you mixer or something like that, the same way, if it's swallow, it's considered a second vessel, it's not a first vessel because you don't use it on top of fire. So you just clean it very good with you have to break all the parts, clean it very good, and you take in a hot water and you pour in on top of it. In case that you use it for something hot or something stuck inside, it's a second vessel. That's why you just pour in hot water on top of it. Same way a mixer, the same way a blender. Okay? What about a pan? Pan that we use for dry stuff, right? To fry, whether it's cheese, whether it's hot dogs, hamburgers, and anything with hot oil. Okay, how we kosher it? Because a pan, it is considered dry. Okay, and it's swallowed in a dry way. A pan needs to have the same way to burn it with a hot fire. It's called libun, with a tray, with fire. Because it's very complicated. Some of the poskim say that it's enough to do agala, which means to dip it inside hot water. Some of the poskim said that we need to have a real fire on top of it. Because of that, it's better not to use it. So if you really need to use it, so you can rely on the poskim to just dip it inside a hot water when you have a pot full of hot water, boiling water, and just dip the pan inside after you break the screws and also clean it very good and not use it for 24 hours and put the soap on top of it. But it's so complicated just to go for $1 store and go to Target and Walmart and buy it in just $7 instead of to do all of it. Okay, the same thing. If you take in the counter, what's the counter consider? First vessel or second vessel? Second vessel. It's not a fire. You just put the hot pots inside or the hot food on top of it. So it's got hot, but it's a second vessel. So what are you doing? You take in a hot water, you pour in on top all of it. Yeah, you remember? So you pour in hot water on top of it, and then, we clean it first of all with the soap and all of it. You put hot water on top of it, and then you clean it, and that's it. We have the tradition to cover all the counters with a thick aluminum in case. Why? Because sometimes it's swallowed very hot, and sometimes we don't know how much it's. So this is the Moroccan and also many other people and other poskim said that we need to cover it with a thick aluminum to make sure that everything is covered. Some of the people even cover the sink, but the sink it's like, or they change the sink to have a plastic sink, because the sinks have so much, and sometimes you're washing the dishes with the hot and it's like considered like cooking inside the sink. But okay, so the counter use it like that. If you would like to put the thick aluminum, this is the best things to do. What about the sink? The same thing. The sink, it's a ceramic, okay? Ceramic, But it's not a first vessel, it's a second vessel. So you take in a hot water and you pour it on top of it. And then you clean it like that. And then cold water after and clean it, and that's it. Okay? And if you have the opportunity of it's very easy for you, it's better to put a new sink. But if you don't have, so you can kosher it this way. What about the table? If you have whether a glass table, you pour in hot water on top of it and you clean it very good with the soap. If you have a wood one, you don't have to have hot water. Sometimes it's make it like breaking it or something like that. And wood also is not swallowed the same way that glass or metal. So you just clean it very good with the soap and go all over, because the table basically swallowed the most, all the crumbs and cereal. Sometimes I see cereal with milk on the legs of the table, or macaroni with ketchup, like when they have kids, so it could be all over. So clean it very good, scratch it and clean it. But it's better all the time, whatever you want to kosher, that is second vessel, to pour hot water on top of it, even the wood table. Okay? If you want to do the kumkum of Shabbat, you know what's a kumkum? Thermos. The heated water. So we have for Shabbat a special one. Heated water. Usually we don't use it for chametz. But sometimes, in Israel, we used to put some borekas on top of it to warm it up, or rogalach, or like stuff to kosher it. So if you have it, so you need to take the cover or something also to do agala inside the hot water. But usually if not, just clean it around and that's it. Okay? So let's go to the utensil. Again, utensil, consider what?
The refrigerator.
Yeah, before we get in the refrigerator, I want to finish with all the stuff that we're using for eat. So utensil again is considered a second vessel, whether it's made of metal, all the utensil. If it's plastic, of course, you don't need to kosher it. It's nothing. It's not swallow, just a new one. But and if it's a plastic boxes or anything that you use it, just wash it and that's it. Okay, because it's not swallow. Same thing. A glass cups, a glass plates. You don't have to do agala. You don't have to agala, which means put it inside hot water, on top of hot fire. You don't have to, because it's considered a cold dishes. Cold dishes, you clean it with soap under the water. You can use it for Pesach, you can use it for Chalavi, you can use it for Besari, because it's not swallow at all. The problem is with the ceramic plates that is half glass and half ceramic. If you have ceramic, it's impossible to kosher it. Not for meat to milk, and not for Pesach. Ceramic, it's impossible. Make a statement. Ceramic, you cannot kosher. Not the cups, and not the plates. Anything from ceramic. That's why, because the reason is swallow and it never goes out. Swallow never goes out. By the way, what's the difference between a glass plate and a glass cups or ceramic cups or ceramic plates regarding to which one you need to immerse inside the mikveh before you use it? Because usually when you buy new dishes, you buy new stuff, if it's made of glass, if it's made of metal, you have to immerse it inside the mikveh before you use it, because it comes from someone not Jewish that made it. So in order to use it for Jewish people, you have to make sure that you put it inside the mikveh. If it's made of metal, whether it's utensil, whether it's spoons, whether it's plates, whether it's glass, okay? Made of glass or made of metal, you have to put it inside the mikveh before you use it. You're taking it, You dip it 3 times. You say, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al tvilat kelim. Say the bracha, and then you immerse it inside the mikveh. Mikveh, you have everywhere. Not the mikveh that a woman or man going. It's a special one for dishes. It's a small one. Okay? If you don't have the small one for special for dishes, you can use it whatever the woman and the man going also, because it's a pure water that comes from the rain. Okay? But only if it's made of metal or made of glass. If it's made of ceramic, you don't have to dip it in the mikveh. You can use it. Okay? This is the difference. So that's why if you go into someone, you visit someone, you don't know if he put his dishes in the mikveh or not. So if he would like to offer you a coffee, can you have a ceramic cup? You don't want to embarrass him, so you ask him, I love the ceramic cup. It's good for Nescafe. Okay? Or I would like to use the ceramic plates or something like that. Or utensil. I don't want to make it dirty, so I'm going to use this disposable one. Okay? That's why if you don't have. So, this is just, I'm going to give you a little bit by the way. Okay? So cups or plates made of glass, how you kosher it? The same way. You just clean it and wash it in a cold water because it's considered cold. Okay? Utensil that you use it, you cut the schnitzel, you cut the meat, you cut the meatballs and you use it at the hot, but it's a second vessel, so you just put it inside the hot pot. You take in with boiling water, and then you dip it inside. Okay, or you just throw it inside if you don't want to burn your hand. You just put it inside, a couple minutes, throw it. Put another one, throw it. You take in the plates, okay? You dip it, half of it, you turn it. Or cover that is metal, made of metal, cover of pots or cover of anything that is metal, also you dip it inside. So, let's go. Okay. So, what about utensil or any kind of dishes or plates that are made of wood? Can you kosher it for Pesach or no? What is supposed to do? What is supposed to do if it's made? What?
Not use.
Yeah. So you just clean it. Some of the poskim said to dip it inside hot water because the wood also it's swallow inside. Okay, if you have like some of the big spoon that you mix in the food, so also you have to put it inside the hot water. Okay, the gavia, the kiddush cup made of what? Metal, but you use it for cold. So you just wash it with the cold water, and that's it. You can use it for Pesach, and it's not considered no halavi, no besari. But if you would like to use it for Pesach, you just wash it, and that's it. Okay? But the only thing that you use it for second vessel, which means not on the fire, but it's considered first vessel, it's the knife. Why? The knife, because the Gemara said you use it, like let's say you cut in steak or cut in schnitzel. It's so hot and the knife, it's so tight, it swallows so much. That's why you have to take a hot water on top of the fire and put the knife inside when it's on the fire. It's not enough to pour hot water. The other utensil, I told you, you put it inside the pot, inside the sink, not on the fire. And you pour hot water when you have a boiling water with a heater or with the pots that you boil it before, because it's second vessel. You don't have to put the utensil on top of, inside the pot that is on the fire. You just put it inside the sink or inside a plate or whatever, just pour hot water on top of it because it's the second vessel. The only thing that you need to put inside the pot that is boiling, that is on the fire, it's the knife. Okay? Because you swallow very, very more than anything. Also, you cut the bread with it and use it very, very close, and you swallow the most for anything. Okay? And by the way, before you use anything to kosher anything that is electric, be careful to disconnect it from the electric, because I said last year how to kosher the microwave and how to kosher the plata, and somebody pour hot water on top of it and zzz, and it was connected to the electric. So just make sure. And also I said to cover the aluminum, you remember the aluminum inside the oven? Somebody covered the plate inside the microwave aluminum. You can imagine what happened.
Wait, the what?
The plate inside the microwave.
Oh my God.
And it was burning, zzz, all the microwave turned off. So don't mix with the halachot, so you have to be very, very careful. Okay? So, let's continue. The fridge, the same thing, because we don't use it in hot, we don't use it with fire, it's just with cold, so you clean it very, very good inside the gumi, inside the corners with spray, everywhere that you cannot reach or you don't know if it's chametz, just spray on top of it. Spray and clean very, very good. You take in the drawers and everything, you put it inside the shower. My kids love it. They take in a shower with the fridge together. Sometimes they eat with the ice cream left over inside. So just put soap and clean it very good, and that's it. Cold with cold, hot with hot. First vessel with the first vessel, second vessel with the second vessel. Okay? Let's go continue. The same thing, would like to kosher the couch or anything that basically people eat on top of it. So you have to shake it and clean it very good. But the corners, there is another halacha in Pesach. Whatever you cannot reach, you don't have to check with chametz. Whatever you cannot reach with your hand, it's considered like outside of your reachable, like outside of your
What if you
capability. But
the couch for food or at all?
yes, so the same thing. Sometimes you cannot reach. You can clean it. So what we're supposed to do, we just open it a little bit, like spray for germs, for cockroaches. Like
What spray are we talking about?
any spray, like any spray that for cleaning. It's
Like Windex?
like Windex or anything that that you use for clean stuff. The same thing if you want to clean the chairs that we use in the chairs. The same thing. You spray on top of it. You clean it very good. If you have a cover on the chairs, you have to do laundry to make sure that we used to do whatever you used to do. When we rent for Walmart or for Target a special vacuum with the soap. It's for the carpets. It's a carpet cleaning. So we use it also for the chairs, because this chair sometimes is swallowing inside, soup, noodle soup and stuff, and sometimes it's inside. You can't reach it. So you use the soap on top of it. Sometimes with your hand you scratch it. Sometimes we use with this machine also the carpets in your house, in your rooms. It's very, very difficult to take all the crumbs inside. It's impossible. So what we're doing, so we take in this machine for a couple hours. We go all over the house, the rooms, and we use this machine that with soap, and it's also suck it, everything. Whatever the leftovers, sometimes you clean and then you see a gum stuck here, a beastly stuck. But when you know that it's not edible for dogs, so you cancel it, and then it's kosher, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay? The same thing, the closet. The closet, go over and clean it very good, especially the closet of the kids. I clean all my house, work so hard, and then in the middle of Pesach, I found a piece of pizza inside the closet. You never know how it got to the first drawer I don't know, behind it, the drawers inside the car. So you never know. The kids can put everywhere. So very, very be careful with that. Also, the bags, the backpack of the kids have to be washed inside the laundry. Also, the toys of the kids, full of chametz, bamba, bisli, chips, begale, all the snacks in the world stuck inside the Lego, the bimba, everything, the toys. I'm putting everything inside the special bag, and I put it inside the laundry. We clean it like that, or if you cannot, just spray on top of it, or do it with the soap. Or some of them I cannot do it. You can't just put the car like that inside the laundry. So whatever I cannot, I put it in a special room or a special place, and I sell it to the goy. If you can do it. Sometimes it's stuck on the wheels, like full of chametz, full. Like it's impossible to scratch it. You're not gonna go for a couple hours just for the, So whatever you can, just put it inside the special room in the garage. Sell it for the goy. Okay. The same thing, a tablecloth. Tablecloth, it's made of plastic or made of whatever, like tablecloth like that. The same thing, you can wash it or you can clean it very, very good, cold water, and you don't have to be worried about it. You can do it like that. And the same thing, the sidurim or the birkonim, we have the bencher that we use it for birkat hamazon. After we eat, we say the blessing. So sometimes it's stuck of chametz, or those books that we use for songs, and we use it stuck of chametz. So anyway, in Pesach we are conditioned. Our traditions is to open all the books and to shake it once in a year to open the book. Sometimes you don't open the books, so just to shake it to make sure, and especially those books that you use during when you eat. So it might be, it's not necessary to all the books, just those books or sidurim that you use when you eat, and we use it for the benchers. So you have to make sure also to clean it and to shake it before. Okay, so now more or less we cover the most of the stuff. There is more, but this is the idea more or less. Now I would like to go for few more minutes about the other stuff that it might be considered chametz. It's not a real chametz. It's not like 100% chametz. It could be 1% or 5% mix of chametz. Okay? Those stuff that it might be mixing chametz, it's called ta'arovet chametz. Even it's not 100% chametz, we're not allowed to eat it or use it in Pesach as long as it's edible for dog. This is a statement. If it's not edible for dog, and also another condition that is not 100% chametz, it just mixed with chametz, we are allowed to use it in Pesach. And this is the following list. Okay? This is the following list. If we have toothpaste, if you're taking a toothpaste, I'm not talking about the strawberry one or the yummy one, for the kids. I mean, usually for the adults, the mint one, it's not edible for kids, for dogs, but in the other side, you use it inside your mouth. So it's better to have a toothpaste kosher for Pesach. If you cannot, you're still allowed to use it because it's not edible for dog. Okay? The same thing. If you have lipstick or the stuff that you put for dry lips, how you call it? Lips.
Lip balm.
What?
The lip balm.
Lip balm. Yeah, the same thing. If you have a taste, it's a problem because it's tasty. The dogs can eat it and enjoy it. But if you don't have a taste, you're allowed to use it. Same thing if you would like to use something to brush your shoes, or it's also connect with chametz inside, but because it's not edible for dog, you're allowed to use it. Okay? The same thing, any kind of creams, any kind of medicine, any kind of things that it's connect with chametz, but it's not edible for dogs, is have no taste. There's no problem to use it for Pesach. Okay, the only problem it's with something with taste, especially for kids. This Tylenol or other stuff that is for kids with taste. If the kid is very, very sick, you're allowed to give him, even with the taste. Or somebody is very sick, like חולה שיש בו סכנה, allowed to use it. But otherwise, you cannot use any kind of medicine that is not kosher for Pesach, if you have, because it might be with chametz. It's called amilan chita, come with meat, with wheat stuff inside. So if this medicine or this pills or whatever is not with taste, is no problem, because it's bitter. It's not edible for dog. Okay. And if somebody have a headache or migraine, is not considered someone sick. Only if somebody cannot get up with his bed by himself because of his sickness, is considered חולה שיש בו סכנה, a sick man that have a kind of danger. Then you're allowed to use any kind of medicine, even with taste, because it's not 100% chametz. It's just mixed, and so we let him. But otherwise, you cannot use any medicine with taste if you have any kind of might be chametz inside. Okay. Now, what we have more before Pesach, also make sure that you change in your toothbrush, because you use it and you clean your tooth and your teeth, and it's full of chametz. So make sure that you change it before Pesach. But the rest of the stuff, we have few stuff that it might be connected chametz. It could be cups, made of paper cups, or any other stuff like aluminum or paper for cooking paper, anything like that, shampoo, soap, Vaseline, any kind of cosmetic for women, makeup, because it's not edible for dogs, it's okay. You don't have to have kosher for Pesach. You're allowed to use it in Pesach. Even some of the people, some of the poskim, is all the time it's going to be level for those people extremely, that they don't use anything, even cups and any plates and any paper stuff. So, but it's okay. Whatever is not eatable for dogs, you're allowed to use it for Pesach. But otherwise, all the time, make sure before you go and do shopping for Pesach, even the other stuff that is not supposed to be kosher Pesach, it's better to have a kosher Pesach, especially if you taste it like a toothbrush, toothpaste, or something like that. Okay? But otherwise, you got the idea how to kosher your house, how to prepare yourself. Don't start in the last minutes, right after Purim, or 2-3 weeks before. Make sure, and whatever you have, any questions and anything, you can tell me before. And those things that you might have a questions, or you don't know how to kosher it or whatever, just put it inside the cabinet or inside any kind of place in the kitchen or in the garage and sell it. Make it inside the address. I'm going to give you the papers, or you're going to be the one I'm going to sell it to. But but usually that's we sell it to the goy to make sure that we don't have anything in Pesach. And B'ezrat Hashem, next year, we're going to talk about the Leila Seder, all the shopping list, and how we do in the Leila Seder exactly, step by step. B'ezrat Hashem. Okay?